Hello, Miss Jackie.
How are you?
Good. We want to talk about the manor house where you used to work at,
Mm-hmm.
and can you tell me about the experience of black people working there and not eating with them at
Yes,
that time?
I was about 16.
16 years old.
Yes, when I got that was really my first job,
Mhm.
and I was I was loving it. We made the salads and we made fresh bread and took it to each table and served the people. And they would come in with their families and they would serve family style. Well, I was very impressed with the restaurant. And I said, one day when I get some money, I'm going to come back out here and eat.
And eat.
And my sister said, no, you won't. And I said, why
Why
not?
not?
She said, because blacks don't eat here. And I said, what? I was shocked. I was shocked. But after I found out that blacks couldn't eat there, I really didn't want to work there any longer. Because I felt self-conscious. I felt like, I don't know, I felt like people was looking at me like they were a clown.
Mm. Like
You know, asked me all kind of questions, yes, and I didn't think much of the questions at first they would ask, but then after I saw where, you know, because of my color, my skin, I couldn't eat there, I really didn't want to wait on them, so I didn't stay there long after that, because I was only there on the weekend anyway, because it was a part-time job.
Do you still remember the questions they were asking you?
They wanted to ask me like how was the food fixed in the back. They sometimes people might ask you where did you live or you know where did you come from. You know little questions like that. But I didn't think
So
much
why,
of it.
why do they think you're coming from somewhere?
Well, I guess they knew
Uh-huh.
because it was all the way out in Cockeysville,
Oh.
and so they knew black people and everybody was there and during that time.
Mhm.
So they wanted to know where did I live.
Mhm.
And the place was it was beautiful.
Mm.
Had these big pillows, big, on the porch, had nice big porch fronts, and it was just a beautiful place, green grass everywhere. And with me being a city girl,
Mhm.
coming from East Baltimore,
Mhm.
that was beautiful, watching all that green grass and
Oh.
stuff like that. I didn't know that that was just a part of me, and because of where my mom came from, that was what she was used to coming up with grass and everything like that. So I guess that was a part that was in me that I just didn't know about.
Oh, okay, but did they explain why you can't eat there?
No.
They did not. But what about if somebody could have tried and then eat there? Would you think they could have said no? For the
Yes,
black-
I think that the whites would have got up and left.
Mm.
And that's their establishment. So if you have, if you have an establishment to make money, and the people that's bringing the money, and me gonna come there and sit that really didn't have the money, who do you think they're gonna keep? It won't be me. Yes.
Oh. And what about the Hippodrome Theater?
Well, I remember as a young girl.
It was a beautiful place.
Oh yeah, it was. It was beautiful, and it's still beautiful today. But the Hippodrome, I remember we would go past it, and you would see stars going in, like during premiere night, and they would have the red carpet laid out and everything. But once again, I found out that wasn't a place we were welcome, and that we couldn't go. Now, after Martin Luther King and some things had changed, blacks was accepted there.
In that theater.
Yes, but
And
they
not
didn't keep
before.
it up nice.
Oh.
The bathrooms were always flooded. It
Just
was a
because
mess.
now the blacks were
Right.
in.
So they would say that, see, this is why we don't want to give anything to blacks because they messed it up, but that wasn't true.
That wasn't true.
Well, the truth was you didn't have the people there to clean it. You know, it would be, if you
You
go a
just
place,
didn't want to take care of it.
if you
because
go
the
a
blacks
place
were there.
early and the bathroom already dirty, then you know that nobody cleaned it.
Nobody cleaned it.
Yes, it wasn't like somebody came in and just no, you didn't clean it, or because they didn't hire the people to keep it clean.
To keep it clean.
And then so,
But before it was really good. Just before
Oh, yeah,
they started
yeah.
accepting blacks.
now
to
you
come
can even
in.
just tell the way it was, the outside, how nice and clean it was, and everything. But once blacks start coming, see, whites left. So I can imagine that's where it was the predominant money was. You know, let's face it. Especially even back then, whites had more money than we had because our jobs didn't pay as much.
But where we used to work at Manor House,
Hmm.
did they used to? Was there any white people working there as well? Cause the
Yes.
cooks. Uh huh.
Yes.
So the pay was the pay the same
You don't discuss the pay.
with anybody?
No.
So
Their
the rate
jobs
was
like that
different.
today. Yes, you don't discuss pay.
Mhm.
Because first of all, they were waiters and waitresses,
Mhm.
and I was a bus girl. So my pay would be far different from theirs anyway.
Bus girl.
A bus girl is a person hand the salads out, take care of the salads, clean the dishes off the table and then maybe bring desserts out, stuff like that.
Oh. But how do you feel like you work in a place, you make all those things for them, and you don't sit down and eat with them?
You know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I stayed there, because it was hard for me to take.
It was.
Hmm.
But what about your family? Did they come in and eat with you guys there or no?
No.
Not at all.
No, first of all, it was like, as I said, it was so far out, and we lived in East Baltimore, and this was over in Cockeysville, so no, my family didn't come out there to eat.
Oh, okay. But did you see any black customer coming in
No.
and eating there?
Blacks couldn't eat there.
Not at all.
Period.
But they didn't
None.
explain why.
No, I didn't ask. I mean, if it's
Because
your
you're
home
young.
and you said yes, it was your home and you said we don't do such and such. That's just the way it is. That was the type of person I was. You know, like some things were changed because you had people who was willing to stand up for what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wasn't.
Yeah.
To be, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I
You
just
were like
wasn't.
just watching.
It was like, okay, if that's how you want it, I'll just move on.
You just
Yeah, but
stand there
I
and
thank
watch.
God everybody wasn't like me.
Oh,
Because I didn't
yeah.
even understand the gist of it.
Hmm.
What are they fighting for? Why do they want to fight? I couldn't understand it.
So
But I do now.
Now you understand
Yes.
why they were fighting
I
for
understand now. Say, for instance, if I'm somewhere and a person tell me I can't. Now you have to tell me why.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
yes.
I can't eat here and yet
Mhm.
I'm the one cooking the food? So
Yes.
that's a question I know a lot of people are asking
Yes.
themselves why they can't eat there.
Hmm. And that's why you see a lot of young people. There were a lot of young people just kind of seem angry anyway, so they ready to fight anyway.
Where that restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway, I mean, you know, yeah.
Why?
Pretty much
why I can't
sometimes,
do
yeah.
that?
Sometimes I do wish they would calm down just a little bit and use their head.
Mm-hmm.
Use your brain. You know, we don't always have to fight, but just outsmart that person.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that was about the. I know before we started the recording, you were telling me about one day you were with your parents and you went to Rose and these people asked, carrying the sign. Can you tell me?
Oh yeah.
more
Well,
about
my
that?
mom and dad, they were home,
Mhm.
but I had went around the corner to a grocery store called Ross's,
Roses.
and we had went there.
And Roses, they sell clothes, right?
But this was a grocery store.
That
Could be branch off the same. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I went round to Ross's for groceries, and I noticed all these people was in the street. You know, maybe about a handful of whites. They was in the black neighborhood, carrying signs about "Go back to Africa, you monkeys," and that was like I had never seen anything like that. I came and
And
said,
you never
"Mama."
been in Africa, so
Yeah, for real. I asked Mom, I said, well, what is this? And she said, just some ignorant people. She said, ignore them and let's go do what we're doing.
But why do you think they were doing those things?
Because they were ignorant, just like my mother said. Anytime you think you're better than someone, that you deserve everything and someone deserves nothing, you're ignorant. I don't care what color you are. Even now, that's why I really hate seeing blacks go against blacks or really anybody. I should treat everybody as if though they're my brother. That's just the way I was raised. That's what I really believe.
So, but was the owner was white, was a white
Of
man
course.
controlling that store. Did they even?
Oh no, they let us come in.
But them, the people demonstrating outside, telling
They
you
didn't
guys
like the
to
fact that we
get
could
out.
go to those stores.
So they just didn't want you guys in
Right.
there.
They didn't
That's
like
why
the fact
they
that
demonstrated.
that was where we shopped. It was Ross's. It was a bakery, Rice's Bakery, and it was a hardware next to that. It was a nice little group of stores over there, and that was where we went to shop and do what we did.
But the same thing they were saying about you, did they say to any white customers coming in?
Oh, no.
Not at all?
No.
Oh, how did that make you feel?
As I said, at that time, I had begun to, I went through a period of saying I wished I was white because I felt if I was white, I would be accepted. And, you know, like as I said, you change as you develop and mature, you change. And so I realized, you know, ignorance is going to be in any race, anywhere, anytime. So just let it go. Be grateful for who you are.
Grateful for who you are. And what do you think your mom was saying, you know, experience something like that, and especially with your kids, working with your kids, and people are telling them stuff.
Well,
how did she feel?
My mom, she wasn't with us. She was in the house.
In the house.
But my mom was, as I told you, she was half Irish and half Indian. So she was very light and had beautiful long hair. So some places where she went, people thought she was white.
Oh.
But she didn't like the fact that of knowing she could go somewhere, but if somebody knew she was black, she wasn't accepted. Because even though she wasn't black, as in I'm black, because my father isn't, you know, Negro or whatever you want to say, she was Irish and Indian, but yet she was labeled black. Yeah.
Wow. So from that time when those demonstrations were going on for the blacks not to come to the rows, so did you guys go back again, or?
Oh, sure.
You did.
Yeah, because the establishment didn't say they didn't want us there. The people was coming from another neighborhood didn't want us there.
You guys
right.
in there.
Yeah. So you don't let them stop you. I mean.
For comparing that time and now, do you see any change, or things are still the same?
There's some change where people are more sneaky. They're sneakier.
So they don't do it.
Or they'll find other ways to keep you out. Like making prices higher. Say, for instance, as I said, they remodeled the Hippodrome.
Yes.
The Hippodrome has been remodeled, but the prices are just...
So they change the price?
Yes, the prices are really astronomically overpriced. And I believe that's because you're going to get the people who have the bigger bucks to spend, who's willing to spend it on that. Now I go on my when I but I mean I really don't even like spending that kind of money on a play. I mean, some of them are nice, but if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on a play, I'd really rather go to New York. I like their theater much better.
The one in New York.
Yes, I do. Yes. And so we went to see the Lion King.
In New York?
But I saw it first in New York. And it was beautiful. So then my granddaughter bought me tickets because she knew I liked it, to go to see it here. And when I found out what she paid for the tickets, I was so upset. Not only that, I didn't even enjoy it because the scenery wasn't as great, because the stage is much smaller. So that's why I say it's overpriced.
It's overpriced. It's just
yes.
They just trying to tell you, hey, you don't belong here. You can't afford the price.
Right. But as I said, a lot of white people, they'll go places because that's them. Their little cliques, little niches where they'll be together.
So it's still going on, it's just they're doing it in
a different way.
In a different way.
Just like, even like tests in school. When they do some tests, they don't, the tests that are made up are made up with more white people in mind, so they'll ask questions that they know.
They know black people definitely get it.
Give you a test with the things I know, and they won't know.
I think that there's a case where white students sue them for not like a black student sue them for not accepting her in that school, and they say just because she was black, and you just wonder, like, really, it's still going on.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, yes. I mean, look at Trump. Look at that. Did you see the other day, like a sea of white?
Yeah.
It's like a sea of white.